Well, joining us now, Alamogordo Tigers head football coach Dale Hooper. And Coach, a week off, kids got a chance to heal up a little bit. Yep. Talk about what do you guys go through on a bye week when you guys don't have a game coming up on Friday?
Well, it was a perfect timing for us because that bye week happened to be the end of our 9-week grading period too. So you can imagine how much homework we were doing, making sure all kids were grades. And it's nice having our faculty like we have, and they do it for all our kids, obviously, not just our football players. They do it for everyone in our school. But most of the teachers, I allow them to come in and make up maybe quizzes or a test or something they didn't do very good on or do good on, and they got to go in and make up a lot of stuff. We didn't have a lot of our whole team there probably all week on that week of practice, but we had them all week. And the good thing is we got all our kids' grades in, and I think we got everyone eligible and good grades too. And so that way, ultimate goal obviously is make sure these seniors graduate high school, and right now we're on track for that. So we got to make sure we keep doing that. And then we got a lot of fundamentals done too. We got some kids playing in different positions last week, getting some reps at different positions, make sure they know both sides of the ball. And because we're going to have to, we had a pretty bad injury here, and we're having to fill that hole. And anyway.
Yeah, it's definitely a challenge when you lose somebody of the caliber of Marcelo. And just, talk a little about how big Marcelo was this season, because we're not going to see him probably for the rest of the year. Yeah. He was what a great senior, what a great player he's been all season long.
I've talked about him all the time. I can't stress the amount the impact that kid has on our team, and now not having him on our team. It was, he obviously he's still on our team, but not on the field. That was a tough one, and just a fluke thing. He made a cut, and that was it. It wasn't like it was a hit. It wasn't no vicious hit or anything. He just made a cut, and he popped his ACL, and it was a heartbreaker. And it broke a lot of people's hearts. I guarantee that, and probably most importantly his. And but you don't get a better kid than him. And athletic-wise, my gosh, he was our everything. I could put him in. I put him in wide receiver, and he probably would have played a lot of wide receiver against Artesia, and so he probably he would have been like Mayfield. When we were playing the bigger games, the teams I felt that were going to give us a hard time. That was time when Marcelo probably wouldn't have ever came off the field, and just like Mayfield, and now that's a void we got to fill, not just on one side of the ball, but on both sides and special teams, and because he was a kid that didn't come off the field. And just just having him on the field, his leadership, I don't know. I can't say enough about Marcelo. He's just, I love him to death.
Yeah, good kid, and certainly it's a shame to not have him on the field. Defensively, maybe more than anything else, great wide receiver, great on special teams, but
can't
be made up or can't be said enough of what he did for you guys on defense. Who are you going to need to step up for you guys?
Well, we have a good thing is we have a pretty good rotation on the defense, and we've been getting good reps with other kids, and they did really well. Our younger kids stepped up and played really well against Artesia at that position, we work on other players too. We have people. We have offensive guys that can play safety pretty darn good too, and so I don't think we'll. The only thing it's. Now you're going to have to pull kids from both sides to get some reps and rotate in there. And we got some kids that can play that position like Marcelo that are really fast. So that's a good thing.
Assess the Artesia game. We really didn't get a chance to talk about that. First half, obviously, it seemed like their defense did some good things against
They did, and I give them credit. They came out and they played hard. Their defense played really hard. I felt going in that their defense was a much improved defense from the year before, and I thought a much improved defense from the year before. And they gave us a little bit of fits on the run game, and they dang sure wanted to make sure Hunter wasn't gonna get them. And Hunter, I think he had 111 yards or something like that, but I guarantee he earned every dang yard. That kid ran hard for those 111 yards, and they did some things to take him out of the game. So we had to do other things, and it was something I don't like to do, but I definitely will do it if teams call our bluff or whatever you want to call it, and so we had to run Kyle a little bit, and Kyle ran the ball well. So, when I look at rushing, you put the two together, we had 200 yards in rushing. So that's pretty good for our offense. And I don't know if we had about 300 or close to it or something like that throwing. Offense, I thought we did well. We didn't do well enough though. if I go back and look, hindsight, you're always smarter. And I don't know if I probably would have went for that in the third quarter. I probably would have went for that 4th and 4 Kyle just missed the ball and he felt bad. He didn't miss very many that night, and he missed a wide open Julian in the hole for a first down, and it just came off his hand. It kind of fluttered over him, and we're lucky it wasn't picked, I guess, on that. And we punted the ball, and at that time, I think I was our only punt in that second half. That was a hard one. I probably would have went for it. I don't care where we were in our side of the field. I probably would have went for it because I felt pretty confident we could have got that. And then that, the first half, that 4th down, I don't know. It was a tough one for me. I was on the sideline when they ran the ball. Obviously the ref made the call. I felt we had it. I thought we had it by a good foot, but I guess I was off by about 6 foot. I don't know. And that one hurt us too. Because they came back and scored on that. And it's almost like they what is it, the word deja vu? Yeah, it's like last year when we had the 4th down, almost identical kind of situation. So yeah, it was a tough one on that. And our first half we didn't perform, and we didn't put no points up. I didn't have to really worry about halftime. The kids were already going crazy in the locker room one time I got in there, and of course, I wasn't happy neither, so they heard it from me also. And I think second half we came out and really played well. And we had a lot of missed tackles, and our kids were in position. I think our coaches had them in position to make plays, and we just had missed tackles. And you take away that one long run that we win that game, and hand off to that kid. Oh my gosh, did he make a heck of a run? He broke, I don't know how many tackles he broke to make that run, and good for him. Just
one of those things.
It is, and what a great team. I wouldn't be surprised a bit if they don't win at all. I know Centennial's a dang good team too, and they're in 5A, but I think Artesia will probably win it again. I do. They're a pretty solid team, so.
Yeah, and impressed with their quarterback that had to fill into the sophomore. He played just fine.
He's a baller. He comes. I guess he has a pretty good gene pool there. His brothers, his family are all good athletes through Artesia, so there was no surprise there. And when you grow up in the system, he knew exactly what they had to get done, and their coaches made sure they put people in position that he was going to be successful, and they did a good job. And they got the ball in their 28's hands, and he did a good job.
Talk about, though, the resolve of your team, though. The fact that you were down 14-0 at half, and you guys took the lead. You scored the first 2 times out of the gate there in the second half. That's something that you guys haven't really had to do a ton of this year, or at all this year. You haven't had to play from behind. And even though you came away with a loss, they showed they could
now is a
back.
tough one, and we had them in that last drive. We had them in a couple third downs. We just got to make the tackle, and we win the game. We walk out of there with a win, and it didn't happen, and it was a heartbreaker. And but our team, they want to fight. I'm going to tell you right now that loss was. Yeah, it was hard. It was a hard loss on our kids. And you have kids that are just fighting, and I feel bad for them, but I think it's a good thing. There's a lot of lessons to be learned in losing a game, and there's a lot of growth that can come out of that. And let's just hope that's the last one we lose this season, and that's the plans. And at least that monkey's off our back. I'm trying to have that undefeated season, and we just got to win districts. We got to go through the rest of these next 3 games. That's all that matters. And we got a huge game this week. Carlsbad, I know they haven't won any of their games, but they've been in every game. And for a team that hasn't won a game and to be fighting in every game, it's pretty impressive.
Well, it's just like last year. I mean, this is a team that was 0-7 going to district, and they very nearly won the district.
Darn right. They barely lost to Clovis Hobbs, and they ended up beating us. Remember they got the 2  onsides against us, and we just couldn't ever make up for those onsides. And they're a pretty good team. I mean, they had the lead in Artesia. They lost last week on some pretty hard penalties on their part against Goddard at home. I don't know, watching film, they could have won that game very easily, but they ended up losing that game. And then I look at some of their other games. They had Sandia. Sandia's a pretty good team. They just beat El Dorado, number 2 El Dorado. They're a pretty solid team, and they had their chance to beat them too. They lost them by a field goal. Carlsbad's definitely a good team. And we're going to have to be ready to play football to beat them. And do I think we're better than them? Absolutely. There's no question about it. I think we can win it all in 6A, and I'm not going to change my mind on that. I think if we go out and play football, I don't think there's anyone, and that includes Cleveland. I don't think there's anyone that we can't play with or beat. And but our kids, we got to come out and we got to play hard. And I got to say one thing about the Artesia game. It was so awesome having the many fans. We had a lot of fans there, didn't we? It was amazing. I look over in our visitor stands. It was packed. And I'm going to call out myself on that one, on that game. It was not their homecoming. I apologize for that because I was told it was a homecoming. And that just went bad information. Yeah, got some bad info on that. But it was their reunion, state champion reunion or something. That's why it was a 20-minute half and all that stuff. But I want to throw that apology out there on that one.
Well, they had, goodness, you certainly had some motivation out there. They had a 75 state championship winning team
there. They had a whole lot of other stuff, but it wasn't homecoming. It was something else. But I almost forgot about apologizing for that one. But that's okay. We know that didn't matter anyway. We get extra fired up for something like that. But yeah, it's okay.
Talk about obviously district intensity level goes up because every single one of these games means so much. Is it something you see and you feel from the kids and the coaching staff that they know that it's going up?
Okay, well, you know what? Let's see. I felt going in Artesia week. I felt we were lacking a little bit of focus. I do. I can't go off and say I thought we had great focus all week because we really didn't. We didn't have a lot of focus during the practices that week of Artesia. I ain't gonna say it was terrible because it wasn't terrible. It just wasn't our normal. And it kind of honestly reminded me of the Gadsden because Gadsden I thought that way too. When we're going to Gadsden, we just didn't have a lot of focus in practice. And now when we played Mayfield, for instance, we were focused. And I knock on wood now because I want to make sure I knock on wood. But I feel that right now our kids are focused. These last couple of days of practice have been really, really good practices, and we're getting better. And that's why I tell the kids we got to try to get better every day. And like that Artesia week, I didn't feel we got better during the week of practice. I didn't feel the Gaston week got better during the week. This week I feel we've gotten better, and that's what we've got to strive for. And I felt going into Mayfield we got better that week, and so hopefully we can continue that momentum of practices and going into our game and try to bring a district championship home to this town. And and correct me if you would know this more than I would, but is it 85? Is that what I was told? 85 was the last district title?
That would make sense to me. That would be the one that would jump out because the team was undefeated that year, and I can't think of another year the Tigers have won a district championship.
So it's been a long time coming, and I tell you why, hopefully a lot of people come out and show their support. I think it's law enforcement appreciation too, and I think that's awesome. I think what Mr. Perry does on all that it's amazing. It's a big week. So we'll have all our law enforcement here at the game, and I'm expecting a lot of people to come out and support our team and show that they still love us, and we're ready to win a district title.
And also, I think tough enough to wear pink kind of stuff as well because they've got the pink towels they're giving away on the home side. So during the month of October, of course, that's become a big thing with football across the country.
It is.
It's all sports, and that's a great deal.
And we've had, unfortunately, we've had some players on our team that have lost. They're pretty sad. I don't want to get into that.
But it's certainly something that is a motivation and is one of those. Any way they can represent that person that they've lost, it'll mean something to them for sure. Let's talk about the game a little bit. I got to think offensively, you guys want to get off to a good start. It's been, with the last two games, it's been a little bit of a slow start for you guys.
Yeah, it has, and I think that goes back to practices too. We've got to come out. We just got to come out with some fire, and hopefully, we'll see what happens. I think our kids are definitely prepared, and districts, there's nothing held back. That's for sure. There's a lot of stuff we haven't done, and that we'll be doing in our districts. I mean, that's the bottom line. That a lot of stuff we build in our offense is to prepare us for districts or to take advantage of what our district does to us. And because when I go to look at what offensive plays and what we want to build around and what plays and stuff, it's all about district to me. That's it. I'm not trying to build an offense so we can beat the Mayfield or the Gadsden or any of those guys. I want to build offenses that we can beat the defenses in our district, and we'll see what happens. I feel I feel good. I do. I think offensively I feel pretty good. As long as we stay healthy. Healthy is a big thing in districts because we just lost a heck of a good swing player, and we'll see.
Yeah. Defensively, or what does Carlsbad do offensively that you guys?
They run a lot of same stuff they ran last year. Really, they run the spread gun. They try to run a little option in there, but I don't think he has an option quarterback for say like a triple option guy. He hasn't had him trained enough yet. It's his first year in there, and they look a lot like Mayfield. They do. They look a lot like Mayfield. I guess what I would compare it to maybe Mayfield last year.
Yeah,
Mayfield's team from last year, not this year, and he'll come out and he'll run bone, he'll run double tight, he'll run trips, he'll run unbalanced. He's a Bradley. I mean, it's exactly, if you watched Mayfield over the years, that's what they're doing, and good kudos to him too. He's going to try to do what he has to give his team the best chance with what personnel he has. You can't come in. It'd be like me trying to run the spread if I didn't have a quarterback. It doesn't work that way. You can't. You got to adjust to what athletes you have so you're successful, and he's done a good job doing that. And they have one of their athletes. I mean, they have some good athletes, obviously, but they have one athlete that, man, he's pretty good. He might be one of the best all-around athletes I've seen all year, actually. So, anyway, we'll see.
Yeah, you certainly know that Carlsbad is going to bring. That all three of the district teams are going to bring it. I don't know if it's the toughest district in the state because that District 1 is pretty unbelievable this year.
Yeah,
but
it is.
It's probably the second.
It's
toughest
second
district.
toughest. I would say second. I wouldn't say we were the top, but I tell you what, all with the exception of that one top dog, I think our district can hang with about anybody, including the top dog. I mean, you put us our two districts together, I think I think our whole district threw a hole, and Carlsbad. I think Carlsbad would beat a lot of teams, and the thing with them, they've gotten better every game too. So, we've got to come out and play good football this week. That's the bottom line, and I feel our kids are ready to play football. I don't know. I'm excited. I'm excited about practice today.
Yeah.
So
and getting that first district victory as well. For those kids, this group's that's seniors. They haven't picked up a district win yet.
No, they haven't. And it hasn't been for quite a while now. And so, I think our kids will be ready to play, and I'm praying and God willing that we stay injury free, and that's going to be a key for us through our districts. Yeah.
All right, well, we'll see what happens, Coach. We're looking forward to hopefully a great crowd out there. They've been fantastic all season long.
Unbelievable.
Couldn't imagine anything different.
I don't know. It's awesome. There's no question about it. And hopefully we'll have the same this week, except the only difference is we'll be in all pink up there. But we're looking forward to seeing all the people there, and hopefully they'll be proud of what we show them on the field.